friends, welcome to Crafternoon. Today we're going to be reading a story about an alligator named Alan and his big scary teeth. It's a great story and it kind of has a little twist at the end. I think you're going to be surprised. After we're done with our story, we are going to create a craft and you will have the chance to win a copy of Alan's Big Scary Teeth, this book, and a stuffed alligator. So make sure you stay tuned and make that craft with us. And don't forget to submit a photo of your craft project. You don't have to be in the picture if you don't want to be. Just your craft is fine. But submit a picture of your craft on our Facebook page, the original Facebook post for this program, by midnight on Sunday, July 25th for a chance to win that alligator. Let's get started. Alan came from a long line of very scary alligators. He was known throughout the jungle for his scaring. It was what he did best. Alan would start each day polishing his scales, sharpening his nails, and brushing each of his big, scary teeth for at least 10 minutes at a time. And after practicing his frightening faces in the mirror, can you make a scary face? Good job. He would sneak into the jungle for his morning round of scaring. Alan went snap, snap, and grr, grr. He said things like, "I'm big, scary Alan. Fear my razor-sharp teeth." He made the frogs leap off their lily pads, the monkeys tumble from the trees, and the parrots screech in terrible terror. "Wah ha ha ha! I love being scary," said Alan. After a long day of scaring the jungle animals, Alan would head back home to the swamp, relax, finish the crossword puzzle in the Jungle Times, and he would take out his false teeth. Nobody knew about Alan's false teeth. They were fake teeth. "Good night, teeth. Sweet dreams, my scary snappers," Alan would say as he put them away carefully in his super secret hiding place. One morning, Barry the beaver was up early collecting wood and came across a dozing Alan. Terrified that Alan might wake up and gobble him whole, he quickly dived behind a bush. "Whew, that was close," thought Barry, just as a set of false teeth fell out of a bush with a very familiar snap, snap. When Alan awoke, his teeth were gone. My teeth, where are my teeth?" What could he do? Maybe no one would notice. Could he still be scary without them? He decided to head into the jungle as usual. He made the frogs leap off their lily pads, the monkeys tumble from the trees, and the parrots screech. With laughter, Alan just wasn't very scary without his teeth. Snap, snap, wah, wah. Alan slunk back to the swamp. He had never been more embarrassed. He came from a very long line of very scary alligators. Scaring was all he'd ever known. What would Alan do now? Poor Alan began to cry. Just a little bit at first. But then the tears kept coming and he howled and yowled more than all the jungle babies put together. And still he could not stop crying until the next morning when all the animals turned up at Alan's swamp with his big scary teeth. Right there. We'll give you your teeth back, said Frog. Really? Said Alan. On one condition, said the parrot. You have to stop scaring us. But what will I do? I don't know how to do anything else. Well, said Frog, we have an idea. And so, every day after polishing his scales, sharpening his nails, and brushing his big, scary teeth, Alan headed into the jungle. And he became Alan the gardener, and he trimmed up all the bushes. He became Alan the hairdresser and gave snappy haircuts. And Alan the dentist. He showed everybody how to brush their teeth really well. But every night, he became Alan, the big, scary storyteller, thrilling the jungle animals with his terrifying tales. I love being scary, said Alan. And sometimes he even let Barry borrow his teeth. Garr. Hi, well, I hope you enjoyed our story about Alan and his very big, scary teeth. Now we're going to move on to the craft portion of our program. So we would like you to grab your craft kit, and if you want to get a pair of scissors and some tape or glue, that would be useful. You also might want to grab a crayon or pencil, something that you can use to draw the shapes that you want to cut out. So we're going to get started with our craft. Okay, so today we're going to be making a little alligator, just like Alan, that kind of chomps up and down, and it's pretty fun to make. We are going to be using just some paper products, and then we're going to use something that's called a brad, and you have one of those in your craft kit. It's inside a little baggie. So that is what our craft looks like, and we are going to get started. So the first step is to grab your green piece of paper that has the shape of his jaw and the top of his head. And that's what we're going to put together to make the chomping bit. So we're going to need that, and we are going to cut out around these very dark black lines with this piece and this one. The rest of it's just kind of excess that you can throw away. And this is what we're going to do to make our chomping alligator mouth. So let's get started cutting those out. And you can either stay on the outside of your black lines, or you can cut on the inside, whichever approach you prefer. I'm cutting on the outside because I kind of like that outlined look to my project, and some of you may not want that on your project. So either way is just great. So I'm working my way around. This is going to be the top of his head. It's got the little bumps on it for his nose. That's how you can tell the top and the bottom apart. So here's the first part. And then I am going to cut out his lower jaw. And that's this one. And again, I'm going to stay on the outside of my black line just because I personally kind of like the outline to look a little bit better. But either way is just fine. We had a variety of shades of green paper, and so some of you may have green paper that is this brighter green color. Some of you may have a little bit darker green, and so there's just a little bit of a variety in the packages. So here we have the top of the alligator's head and his lower jaw, and that's going to be the part that chomps like this. Okay, I'm going to set those off to the side. And the next thing I'm going to work on is his eyes. To work on the eyes, we are going to use our sheet of white paper, and I'm going to cut that in half. We will be using half of the white paper for his eyes, and the other half is going to be useful for making his teeth. So I'm going to put the teeth piece of paper off to the side. To make my circles, if you've done crafts with me before, you know that you don't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be an exact circle. If you want an exact circle, you could maybe use the bottom of a glass and trace around it, or maybe a salt or pepper shaker or something like that to make a perfect circle. You can draw it on your paper with your pencil or crayon, or you can just cut as you wish. I want my eyes to be the same, so I'm going to do something a little tricky. I'm going to fold my paper in half, and then I'm going to cut out both eyeballs at the same time since I've got it in half. So I'm just going to start cutting and see what I come up with here as for a size. So I'm just rotating. My circle is not perfect. You can kind of see it's a little bit wavy, friends, and that's okay. And so now when I take those apart, I have two eyeballs the same size. I think I'm going to trim those down a little bit. To me, those feel like I left them a little bit larger than I wanted, so I'm going to go a little bit smaller. Maybe you want an alligator with really big eyes, and that's just fine. Then he can see better. All right, so we're going to get rid of my scraps, and I think those look like a better size for me. Okay, so for the next part, we're going to use our black paper, and we gave you a sheet of paper much larger than what you're actually going to need for this project. I'm just going to cut off a little strip, and with this, I'm going to make the pupils, or the middle part of his eye. So I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the white paper, and I'm going to fold it in half and then cut the circles out. And these are going to be a little smaller circles because they are going to go in the middle of these. So there we have the pupils. So there's his eyes. And we're still missing something else that we need to make it resemble Alan and his big, scary teeth. That's right. We need to cut out our teeth. So we need our other sheet of white paper. And I am going to cut these into 2 strips and stack them on top of each other. That way I can cut out more teeth at the same time. You can make your teeth as large or small as you wish. You can add as few or as many teeth as you would like to have on your alligator. Any number and any size is just fine. So you get to do what you like. I'm going to make mine kind of medium size. And so I think I'm going to cut my paper in half again here. And I'm going to do something that for me makes it a little easier. So I have 2 pieces of paper stacked on top of each other. And I'm going to start cutting triangles. So for the first one, I'm going to cut this off because that won't be a perfect triangle. And then I'm going to cut this way, and then this way, and this way, and back and forth to make my teeth. You can do it that way, or you can take your paper and you can cut triangles out like that. Whatever works best for you is just fine. So here I have a little pile of teeth. And so I think I'm ready to start attaching the parts together. So I'm going to move everything back over here, and I'm going to start building my alligator head. Okay, so to do the next part, we are going to need some glue or some sticky tape. And so I have my tape, which is a double-sided tape runner. We are not going to glue the green parts together. We will not be gluing them together. We will be attaching them with our gold brad. So let's keep those separate. And we are going to first attach our eyes to our project. And so the first step would be adding some tape or glue to the pupil and attaching it. And so I'm going to do that with both of my eyes. So there I have two eyes ready to go. I can make them aim any direction. And then I'm going to put them on the head. So I need a little bit of sticky tape on my eye. And a little bit on this eye. I'm not sure he's going to be looking the same direction here. He's kind of going to be a silly alligator. All right, so now I have my eyes on the top part of his head. I need to attach his teeth. And so to do that, you can either put them on the front side of your paper, or you can glue them to the back side of your paper. Either way is fine, whatever you prefer. I'm going to go ahead and stick them on the back of my paper. So I'm going to take my project and lay it face down so I can't see the pupils in his eyes any longer, and I can't see that black border that I had on there. And I'm going to attach just a few teeth here on to my alligator. And so you're just going to want to put a little bit of glue on the top side, or tape on the top side of your teeth. So that way part of it can still hang down below the alligator's mouth, and you can see a little bit of sharp teeth poking out. Some of you have maybe been to the zoo or reptile gardens in South Dakota and have saw an alligator in real life. Maybe a big one or a little one. They're kind of cute in their own way. So there I have teeth down on the upper part of his jaw. I'm going to put teeth on the lower. And so I'm going to put this face down. I can see my black outline. So I'm going to put that down. And then I know that I need to attach my teeth. And my teeth for this one are going to come up because this is the bottom of his mouth, just like you have upper and lower teeth. Your alligator is going to have upper and lower teeth. So I'll add a few of those. And I'm just kind of spacing them here and there. You could make it look like he's missing a tooth too and give him a gap. Some of you might be missing teeth already. I've seen a lot of lost teeth in the library. Some kids with tooth holes. Okay, so here I have my top and bottom, and so my next part is going to be attaching them together. Now this is a part where you might want some help from mom or dad, or if you have a babysitter with you, because getting the brad through is maybe a little challenging. We used cardstock, so they don't poke through very easily. So I'm going to take either, you can take a pen or pencil and kind of poke a hole through, or the tip of your scissors. Sometimes the brad can go through, but we just want a little tiny poke in there to get it going through. So I'm going to kind of do that on the table. And you can see I have a little tiny hole. I'm just going to poke that brad through, and it pops out the other side. And then brads split open like this and pinch apart. So there you have An alligator head. Good job. So, what I'm going to tell you is that if you would like to, you could submit a picture, photograph of you or just your craft. You don't have to be in the photo. Submit a picture to our original Facebook post by midnight Sunday. So that would be July 25th. If you put your picture up there before then, you have a chance to win a copy of our Alan's Big Scary Teeth book, and you could win this really awesome stuffed alligator. He is really cool. You can even kind of see the scales on him. So if you would like to try and win this guy and a copy of our book, again, just have mom or dad post a picture of you with your creation or just your creation on Facebook by midnight Sunday, July 25th, and then we're going to draw for a winner on Monday. So thank you so much for crafting with us. We've had a great summer. This is our last Crafternoon this summer. But do check out the library's webpage. We are going to be back in person with activities this fall. We're also going to have some grab and goes as well. So if you liked this ability to take them home with you and do them at your house, we're going to have that option on a lot of things as well. So coming soon, you will see our newsletter that has all of our activities coming up through October. So make sure you check that out, and we're excited to see you here. Have a great day.